Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy here, the herder of Buffalo, and once again, I hope you like the intro. But this is a pretty special gameplay and commentary today. This is probably my favourite one that I've done so far, mainly because I got a bit of a surprise for you guys, and as you can tell by the title, I will be talking about the Goliath bird-eating tarantula, which is going to be a pretty interesting conversation with myself in this video. And as well as that, I got a MOAB! And Buffalo never gets the mother of all bombs. So that is why this video is ultra special, because you're actually watching Buffalo get a pretty decent gameplay. I do prize myself on my commentaries most of the time, and you know, this gameplay also reflected hopefully what you're going to be hearing as well. So yeah, I was basically challenged by Raven and Chopper in the pre-game lobby because I was stressing around. I was saying,
I can't play the defensive role properly anymore. I can't get a good score playing defensively.
yeah, I was moaning, and I was saying things like, oh, I don't want to play this game anymore, I hate this game. So they challenged me to get a good gameplay defensively, and you know, I said I'm going to camp this, and I'm actually going to try to get a good score, and I'm going to go for a MOAB. And I know when you go for a MOAB, you very rarely get it, but I did it this game, and it paid off. And you know, I've got to say thank you to Chopper, because he was protecting me from behind the whole game pretty much. Not because he said, right, I'll protect you. It was because that's where the traffic was. There was traffic behind me, and there was also traffic for me in front of myself. So that is what made this in an extra special gameplay. And I couldn't stay camping for the whole game. I do rush out a bit at the end, but you know, that is not a problem. The mother of all bombs was mine, and I did it, and I was so happy. But yeah, that is what makes this a bitty extra special gameplay. And going from the mother of all bombs straight on to the mother of all spiders, and that is the Goliath bird-eating tarantula. And I've got 6 minutes to talk about this thing, and I could probably go on for 66 minutes, maybe even more, talking about this spider, because it literally is a beast. And I was on Wikipedia, you know, just trying to consolidate a few facts about it, and the picture, I'm not even kidding you guys. You guys need to look at this for yourself. There's no point watching this video and then not looking up on this spider. You have to look it up, because it's an absolute tank. This thing's like a sentry gun times 20. This is overpowered. And you know, these things grow to the size of, you know, it's unimaginable how big these things can be. The leg span alone, not just the body, can grow up to 30 centimeters, 12 inches long, and you know, that is daunting for anything. I mean, it is one of the main predators in the South American rainforest, where it is found. Argentina, Brazil, countries like that, pretty much the Amazon. And however, the tarantula hawk, this is prey for the tarantula hawk, and surprisingly, I've never seen one of these tarantula hawks. It is something I do want to look up on, and I don't know how they're going to eat this thing, because it's a monster. But yeah, as well as that, this made me laugh. I couldn't believe this. I saw this on a documentary ages ago, which is where my love for this spider, well, love, I wouldn't call it love because I hate these things, but when my interest in the Goliath birdeater really came about, it's because the natives of South America, they actually eat these things. And this is an absolute shock, because you know, I'd probably rather be in an open shark cage than be forced to eat one of these things, even if it's dead, even if I have the satisfaction of burning one of these things alive. Yeah, you have to roast them if you want to eat them, and I don't even think I could do that. If it was on the end of a stick, I'd throw this stick into the ocean and hope it never came back, because you know, I just don't want to be faced with one of these things, be it dead or be it alive. So you know, I'm never going to cook one of these things. If you want to force me to eat a spider, I'd probably rather jump off a cliff with no harness, because I just don't think I could ever do it. I can't even look at like a little spider, let alone one of these things. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about the Goliath birdeater, and you know, the characteristics and specification of what it really is. And like the black widow, they eat their the females eat their male counterparts after reproduction. And this is really interesting, because once again, it always seems to be the male spiders that are the most dominant. They always seem to live longer, and you know, they seem to be the bigger of the two characters. And you know, the female spider, this is a really interesting fact. The female Goliath birdeater can live to up to 15 or 25 years after maturity, and you know, this is an amazing feat in itself. You know, I expected spiders not to be around for very long. I know these things burrow. They burrow into the ground and spend most of their time underground, but still, living for 15 or 25 years, that's a pretty long time. And wow, there's just to think there's Goliath Birdeater tarantulas older than me in this world right now. And they've seen more of it than I have. They've experienced more wars and more political changes than I've ever imagined. But the males are the unfortunate ones again. They only live up to 3 to 6 years after maturity. I don't really think they live much longer than 6 years of age, and I'm not too sure when maturity happens for a male Goliath Birdeater, but I'm guessing it's between 2, 3, 4 years old, and they die pretty soon after that. And how can you notice one of these things? They are dark to light brown with faint markings on their legs, which it doesn't really define them from other tarantulas, but because they're so big, you're going to see one of these and you're going to notice what it is. And what else could I speak to you guys about? What's the most important thing? Let's go with the venomousness. Venomousness, yeah, that's a word I'm going to create. These spiders aren't actually harmful to humans, and although they do have sharp fangs which are tough enough and large enough to penetrate the human skin, these things can't actually kill you. And if you get bitten by one of these things, it's not one of the sort of like the Black Widow where you need to go to a doctor and you need some anti-venom or whatever. This thing's just like a wasp sting. I think that's the best thing I can compare it to. If you get bitten by one of these things, it's pretty much like a wasp sting. And another thing that these guys can do, and the chances are if you get bitten by one of them, you've obviously threatened them. And when they are threatened, they do, I'm not sure what it is, if they itch or scratch or whatever they do, but they manage to get the hairs off the back of their abdomen and their legs, and when they release it from their body, this latches onto the skin and it causes a really severe irritation. And this is almost as bad as if you get bitten by one of these things. So coming into close contact with them is something that has to be avoided, mainly because of this issue with the irritant skin thing, and as well because they can bite you, and despite it not being a severe, harmless, I'm going to kill you bite, it's still not going to be pretty nice. That nice. Oh god, when I do a long video I seem to stutter and my words seem to come out really bad, and I really want to drink right now, but I'm going to keep going for a minute and a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much most of the things you want to know about the Goliath Birdeater. You're not going to find it in North America. It is a native to South America, and it doesn't really come into contact with humans that often because obviously there's a lot of areas where this spider habituates, where it's not very populated, and most of the people are accustomed to seeing these things every day. And from what I know about people in the Amazon, they don't wear shoes, and I don't know if they go around naked. That might be Aborigines. I'm not too sure. I might have to look into it. But they're not really scared of these guys. And if I was a native, I'd have probably got bitten by a monkey, and hopefully it was fatal, because I don't want to see one of these things. I'd rather get my eyes poked out by a monkey. But anyway, I'm going to stop moaning about these spiders because I'm going to leave them to go and eat venomous snakes and bats and lizards, because they do eat venomous snakes. These spiders eat venomous snakes. That's the biggest shock to me, and that's what I'm going to leave you with in this video. Once again, I hope you have enjoyed this spider video. If you have, please like and favourite it, and if you haven't already, subscribe as well. And there should be plenty more to come next week, where I'm going to be talking about maybe another spider or maybe a snake. But
Peace, Peter Griffin.